Conlon was very involved in envisioning and even creating the sense of what the project would be. We were fortunate enough to have Tim Conlon on our board of directors prior to our choosing Conlon Construction as the construction manager. And you know, I'd have to say that the advice that we got from Tim and from Conlon was just as sound as a board member as it was as a construction manager. I mean, they were in our corner. They were behind us, you know, in every step of the way, and they were also a very good ambassador for us in the community and statewide. Communication was particularly challenging, and Conlon did a beautiful job. There were 28 subcontracts on this job. In addition, there were a number of exhibit elements, those audiovisual components. There were animals coming in. There were huge sheets of acrylic for the aquariums. And Conlon had the ability to deal on a very technical level with the contractors and then bridge that gap and communicate to us as the owner and let us see, and as in any job, there are situations where you have to make choices. Well, now we have to do this or we have to do this. And Conlon was very good at enabling us to understand the parameters for doing a little bit more research so we could make our decision, and then helping communicate, you know, to us what would be in our best interest and letting us make the final decision. Well, this was very unique because we were right on the edge of the waters of the Mississippi River. So one of the first things we had to deal with was the fact that the soil needed to be compressed, which meant that the construction timetable was compressed. What we thought was a 2.5-year construction timetable shrunk to about 18 months or less than 18 months. Conlon was very adept at managing that. Because we were right on the edge of the Mississippi River waters, we had water infiltration, so Conlon, you know, assisted us in devising a plan to stop the water from coming in. There were old trees, old cottonwood trees we wanted to save and have the building come up right to that, and we were able to do that. And this was not only a very fascinating construction project, it was a LEED building, it was geothermal, but it was also an aquarium. And there'd never been a major aquarium like this built in the state of Iowa. And so we had very strong architectural and engineering leadership, but actually getting it built and coordinating the aquarium talent and the life support talent to keep all the animals alive and the water pure and clean and healthy, as well as all the construction talent, was a very difficult task. Our building committee met with Conlon Construction every Monday at noon and handled all the issues and kept things moving along. And so we were very, very happy with the results. Some of the funding we used to build this aquarium came from transportation dollars. Sounds a little unusual, but this was because this is a transportation museum about, you know, moving along the river. We were able to secure some funds, federal highway funds and Iowa DOT funds. In fact, we had 7 different grants through Iowa DOT. And there's a very complex reporting requirement. And if you're building a $100 million bridge, it's one thing, but if you're looking at invoices, you know, maybe that are 100,000, 200,000 here and there, there's a lot of work. This was a Davis-Bacon job, and so there was weekly reporting of hours, and there was on-site inspections required. There was weekly logs required, and Conlon handled all of those to our satisfaction. Well, we continue to use Conlon because of their expertise, because their service to us as a client, because their ability to represent us and make sure we get the best product at the lowest price. We think that they have enormous talents, a broad range of skills and capabilities. They're just good people to work with. We just really enjoy the process. You know, building a major building can be stressful. They alleviated a lot of that stress for us as the owner by helping us see what would be in our best interest, how to move the project along, what kind of decisions to make. So they always gave us the information we needed and gave us some advice and counsel, and then we could make our decisions. So we have been very, very much an advocate of hiring Conlon and recommending them to anyone because we think that they're top-notch.